It's more of an extended curve. And debt works great when it works. So when stuff is going up in value, then yeah, debt works great. Like it's easy to say I'll take a 3% loan to make 6% on my money, but as soon as your money isn't making 6% or you are losing money, so if your cars go down in value and you can't sell them, not only do you lose the money you lose on the car, but you lose even more because you have to fire sale the car just to pay off your floor plan, and you're paying off all the interest associated with it. So I advocate cash as much as possible, especially in a risky business like this, because it's better to lose what you have than to lose what you have and what you don't have. Like that's never a good position to be in, because then you have to dig yourself out of a hole. So that's my answer to that. If you want to get into the car business, I would start small, build it as you have the capital to do it, and then you can only lose. Is like if you don't have debt, then you can only go back to zero. You can't go in the negative, and being in the negative sucks. I've spent 2 periods of my life digging myself out of negative, and there's nothing more annoying than making money and literally just having it go towards getting back to zero as opposed to going towards profit. So Johnny, you want to weigh in on that at all?
No, I agree. I mean, how many times did a bunch of people that we knew confront us with a bunch of cash, and then by the time you did the spreadsheet, we had to pay them 110% to use their money.
Yeah. Investors is a whole nother question. Yeah, because you have to think about not just the cost of the money, but what is the real cost? Are they going to be an asset to you or a liability? Absolutely. Are you going to spend your time
potentially a headache too?
Yeah, micromanaging or being micromanaged by the investors or running your business.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay, great. Well, let's get into car talk. The question on Instagram was about car values. And again, this is always a little bit of a painful subject, even though we're in the car business and our world somewhat revolves around the pricing of cars. Johnny and I are car guys first and foremost, and car guys love cars for what they are, not for the value. And I think a lot of people are impressed by numbers. I was talking with somebody earlier, and he was talking about this one-off Ferrari that was at a show, and nobody was around it, but as soon as he was describing to somebody that it was a $10 or $11 million car, everybody started circling and taking pictures just because they wanted to say they'd seen a $10 or $11 million car. And just as that's true with spectators and onlookers, I think it's true of car guys too. We get so wrapped up in the dollars and cents of cars.
You got to do your best not to.
That we forget why we like the car itself.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You got to, every time you take your car out, if you're watching your odometer roll over and you're seeing $1 fly out the window, yeah, you should sell that car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except for the last 6 months.
Yeah, but we're having the opposite problem. Cars are going up in value, and people are freaking out because instead of saying, oh, gee, well, I can drive it for free, and it's like it's painless miles, now they're getting neurotic based on the increase in value, and they don't want to drive it.
Right. You should look at that.
So it's like damned
bonus.
if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. Yeah, well, 100. Yeah, that for sure. Sorry.
All good. All right. So speaking of values, I kind of picked out, I was going through the auctions, the recent auctions, looking at P-Car Market, BAT, some of the smaller auctions, and also comparing that to what's coming up on Scottsdale this week. And just kind of looking for values, because everybody says everything is totally priced out of the market and there's no good deals to be had. And I don't think that's entirely true. I think there's still some good cars at good values. And one that I picked out was, there was a 997 Turbo on P-Car Market that was a dark blue with a natural brown interior, not the ugly sand beige interior, which has become like the graphite gray of the late 2000s. Sorry, Tyler. Am I wrong? Fine. Anyway, 6-speed manual, turbo cab, 40,000 miles, So basically, worthless. But it sold for
Not anymore.
86. Right. It sold for 86 grand plus fees, so just under 90K. And I called it at 85 hammer price, so I felt really good about myself. But that was probably a $70,000 car pre-COVID market. I hate calling it COVID market, but I don't know what else to call it. Pre-hype market.
Hype's a better word.
Pre-hype.
The cars didn't get sick. The cars didn't get
Some of them should. Some of them you need to keep 6 feet from to.
Oh, there's
for them
definitely
to look
some sick
good.
cars out there, but it's not COVID.
Anyway, so that was probably a $70K car pre the hype. So I think that was actually a pretty good deal. The 997 turbos haven't gone up as much as a lot of other cars. I think they're a good value. The cabriolets aren't as sought after as the coupes by the collectors.
A hell of an experience, though.
Right, sure.
997 turbo cab is like the sleeper of the bunch.
Yes. Well, talk about 2+2 convertibles. There's maybe a BMW M4, 997 turbo, a Maserati. There's not a lot you can get
Mercedes.
Performance-wise. Yep, Mercedes, AMGs. But there's not a lot you can get performance-wise compared to the 997 turbo that doesn't land you into high-maintenance headache territory.
I mean, don't forget Mustang GT.
I did forget Mustang GT. Already forgotten it.
Shelby.
So anyway, compared to what other stuff has gone up between 40 and 100%, that was a pretty good buy in today's market. So anyway, that was kind of my pick of somebody got a good deal there.
There's a 1991 Buick Riata with 2,600 original miles at Barrett Jackson. It's blue over blue.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanna win the nursing home Cars and Coffee. It is available. It might actually.
I think there it's more like bingo and Buicks.
That works. Yeah, hey, you might be on there.
Very heated debate. So the photo I put out to bait people with questions and discussions was two 996 GT3s. Both one that sold and one that did not go, went reserve not met on BAT. So the first one was a 40,000 mile, 39,000 mile white GT3 with a number of track upgrades / modifications. Depends, I guess, how you look at it, whether that's a plus or a minus. To the collector, anything not stock is a detriment, even if it's a good upgrade or a necessary one. To the enthusiast, to the driver, all that stuff is bonus. So it had all the right stuff done to it. And then a seal gray car with 8,000 miles a week later went reserve not met at 127. So you had a 39,000 mile, essentially kind of set a record for a high mile car, if you want to call it high mileage. It's not, but. And then you had one car completely flop. And everybody had tons of opinions all across the board as to why one went, one didn't. Well, one had better photos sell cars.
That was a bad week. In the financial word, that's a bad week.
Okay, fine. That was. I
mean, you got everybody judges everything by Bitcoin. Bitcoin took a shit.
Sure.
Right? Stock market got crushed. It's a distraction. When you have distractions,
okay, but other cars still went for crazy money.
Name one.
I didn't look at all of them, but
there you go. I win.
Okay, fine. Here's my issue with that, though. Right? There were other cars that went for crazy money, and there are still cars that are going for crazy money this week.
The week before that, I was at Mecum.
Yeah. And
I could not believe what I saw.
Right.
I mean, I was just watching cars exceed their high estimate by $150,000. I mean, I haven't seen that too often, unless it was an anomaly car. But I mean, car after car after car. I mean, talking classic Buicks, McLarens, Lamborghinis. I mean, there was a car that had a 475 estimate, high estimate, not the low estimate, high estimate, went for almost $700,000.
Jeez.
I mean, you just watch that stuff and you're like, I mean, if people are, you have consumer auctions. Consumer auctions, you're hoping that somebody's coming to buy a car to live the dream.
Go, talk.
But the truth is, it's 50% dealer, most likely. People trying to buy a car, take it back home, and make money back on it. But I just at $150K over high estimate. I mean, that's hard to swallow that somebody's going to do anything positive with that when they get it home.
So this is skipping ahead in my planned discussion.
My bad.
No, it's fine. I'm just going to address it because you said it. I think a lot of people don't realize that there's a ton of dealers at these auctions essentially picking up inventory.
Yeah.
And what baffles me, or I find is hilarious, is the auctions have done such a good job of marketing that they're charging anywhere from 10 to 12% as a buyer VIG, 10 to 12% as a seller. If a dealer goes to these auctions, they're looking to buy for probably 10% below market value because they got to factor in shipping.
You'd hope so.
Yeah, 10 to 15% below market value, factor in risk, shipping, recon, et cetera, including the buyer fee. So that basically means if a dealer is buying your car at one of these highfalutin auctions, you're netting 35% below market value.
And you had to pay the
35%. Well, yeah,
I mean,
and ship
pennies,
your car there and
everything.
It baffles me that I don't want to just knock the physical auctions, although we're going to do a fair amount of that tonight just based on the data. But if that many dealers are going to these auctions to pick up inventory, you'd think people would get wise and go, wait a minute, this is not the best way to sell my car. But the problem is they're seeing all the record results on TV because those are the ones that get marketed. And they get caught up in that thinking my car is going to set a record too. But nobody brags about the cars that go for crap.
Well, they do when they resell them.
No, I mean the auction houses aren't.
No, absolutely not.
They're not putting the sellers on TV when they get 10% below market minus their commission, and they're crying in their when their Monte Carlo SS Dale Earnhardt edition goes for 20% below market, and they're crying in their commemorative NASCAR Cup.
Get her done.
Yeah, they're not putting that guy on TV, but that's the majority of them. We've been there.
Yeah,
we took a Mustang Cobra R to Meekum and got our butts handed to us.
Oh, that car didn't. That was Ernie Irvine's car that was given to him by Ford after a season in NASCAR too.
Yeah,
that car even had the signature under in the right spot. So if you hated it, you could wipe it off.
It also had the signature of the barn he stored it in underneath it. So that didn't help it.
Hey man, barn find sell, brother.
Yeah. We should have put dust on it.
That was just bad timing. That was just bad timing.
I get it. All I'm saying is
timing's everything.
Yes. So you see the auction, the record sales that get published, but you don't think about how many cars go way below market. And it's not just like BAT where it's okay, well, or let's just say any online auction where if you're 5% below market or 10% below, you got 10% below in your pocket. These.
But I'll admit, though, I mean,
30% off.
This was a Saturday at Meekum, right? I mean, that's where all the Friday night and Saturday is the Highline area for these in-person auctions. I mean, I didn't see anything really go for anywhere near a deal. I mean, I'm talking muscle cars. I'm talking super cars. Everything. I mean, Michael Fuchs was there with some of his cars.
Are you talking about? Oh, Meekum. Okay.
Yeah, Meekum.
Sorry.
I'm back on Meekum. Sorry.
Back on Meekum, Kissimmee.
Yeah.
Kissimmee? How do you say that?
Yeah, that.
But,
I mean, he brought some of his cars there. I think he had 5 or 6 cars there. I mean, they're all, super unique because that's what he does best. And, I mean, I'm watching the cars go across the block, and I'm watching him. And, I mean, he's motionless, but, I mean, he made, it's amazing how much probably money he made MSRP to car being sold.
Right.
And,
and he had high MSRPs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he made money. Let me rephrase that.
There's nothing on his cars that you could check on the standard Ferrari option list.
But it sure assumed he didn't seem unhappy.
Yeah. No, that was a crazy auction. But again, we're in special times. But yeah. Even I feel like if you send your car to the auction in order to net normal market value the buyer has to pay 25% over, essentially.
Mm-hmm. And if you send your car there, you don't want it back. The worst
Right.
thing that can happen is that you put it on a truck back home.
Right.
I mean, that's the best way to blow some money.
Right. But that's a big gamble. You got to know your car is going to go for crazy money in order just to net market.
Yeah.
So, we'll talk more about that later when I find my comments in my notes. But back to the GT3s that went on BAT, though, right? So we can all look at a bunch of factors. We can say it was the stock market, it was a bad week. We could say gray versus white. We could say photos. You know, honestly, it comes down to what people were in the room, like the old saying of
that's
who's in the room, who's in the online room. The problem is when people take those and take a single data point and then use it to make the market, right? So I have people sending me the white 996 GT3 that sold for $145 and then basing their ridiculous asking price or saying, well, my car is worth X because this one went for that. And I'm like, well, that's not repeatable. But then on the flip side, I offered somebody a 996 GT3 earlier this week, and they pointed to the seal gray car that no sailed at 127. They're like, well, I'm not in, I'm concerned about 996 GT3s because of that transaction.
It's amazing that we're looking at that as a low number. I mean, in today's market, you're right. It is a low number.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that we're using that as a low point. I mean, I know it's low mileage. I mean, whatever, seal gray. I have no problem with seal gray. I like it. But
it's rare.
Well, what was a 996 GT3? And I go, the past is the past, the future is the future. I get that. But what if that guy owned that car for 2 years? What do you think?
Bought it for $95.
If that.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even though it's a loser, in a lot of people's eyes, it actually is a winner.
Right. My point is that buyers in this market are unable to make a decision on their own. Like there's this paralysis that comes with waiting to see what happens. And for that reason, 2020 was probably my favorite year in the car business ever because there were no auctions. Right? So used car dealers, I won't say used car dealers, high-end car dealers in January typically, like the 3 weeks surrounding the Arizona auctions and Meekum Kissimmee, just like flatline because everybody's out there, everybody's waiting to see what happens. The same thing in August. I can't sell anybody a dang collector car at the beginning of August because they're like, well, I'm going to wait and see what happens in Monterey.
If the market changes due to what sells.
Right.
Absolutely.
But they can't. But that's why 2020 was so good is because people stopped caring about what other people were doing and they just decided on their own. They literally just said, oh, okay, I want that car. I'm willing to pay this because that's what I'm willing to pay. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, 2020, 2021 were both wonderful years. If you didn't make money in the car business those 2 years, you definitely need to find another profession.
Yeah, that's also true. But yeah, it's the herd mentality where people don't make their own decisions. They make decisions based on what other people are doing.
Yeah,
and that goes back to what we were saying earlier. Is it's a fundamental problem of people looking at cars as dollar values, as potential investments versus, joy. Of I want that car. How much pleasure is it going to give me?
It takes a dollar amount to find the joy.
Sure,
but once you get it, you can't be worried about the financial side again until, the car doesn't. It doesn't matter what a car's worth until it's for sale. You could dissect that many different ways, but, if you have a car and you really enjoy it and you go home every day and you're like, okay, it's worth $35,000 a day. It's worth $36,000 tomorrow. What does that have to do with your joy? I mean, people get really excited about their portfolio when it goes up and down too, but you can't drive it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, cars are something that's a passion. It's a hobby. It's a lot of things. And, and if you get lucky, you make some money, and that's great.
Yeah.
No, nobody's going to get upset if you make money buying a car.
You said something last episode, though, before we were talking about because we were talking about cars as investments and whether or not they're investments.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that the biggest problem with cars going up in value is what? Do you remember that?
Well, just say it.
Well, you said that people then, it would happen once, and then people thought that that was the norm.
Oh, yeah.
You can go 20 years losing money on cars and enjoying them and being happy. You make money on one car, and all of a sudden your enjoyment goes out the window because you're like, oh, well, I have to make money on every car I buy.
Well, we always use the example that we'd sell somebody an enthusiast car, name your car, and they lose $5,000, they complain. But they'd go lease a new Mercedes AMG S-Class, spend $2,000 a month, and not say a peep.
Right. Yeah, it's a good.
Just
say that again. That's good. People need to hear that. You told me that last time, and yes, say it again.
It's true though. You lease a car. I mean, again, right now you lease a car, and when you get close to it, you call your dealership, and you're like,
forget about
how much
right
profit
now.
do I have?
Normal.
Blah blah blah. But normally you're just okay. I spent whatever per year to drive this car, and you justified that. And I mean, I've leased a couple cars. It cost me whatever per year, but probably some of the funnest times I had is because it's like I have to put 15,000 miles on this car a year, or I'm not getting my value out of my lease.
Yeah.
How many
that
people
Boxster you leased was the greatest.
Both of them.
Did you enjoy that Boxster more than any GT3 you've owned? Almost. Hold on. Johnny leased a Boxster for a 1-year lease.
Two of them.
Two of them, a Boxster and then a Boxster S, right?
Yeah, I did a Boxster because it was available, and there were some corporate leases that I qualified for, and it was 1 year, 15,000 miles.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen him enjoy a car so much as he did with that
snow
car.
Tire, track day. I mean, I used that thing to, and then when that was up, I had so much fun. I did it again.
He let me drive him too because he didn't care.
And but then those deals kind of went away, and that didn't happen again. But if it happened again, I'd happily pay whatever I paid for that to have that experience. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, how many people do you know lease a car, and they're paying, let's just say, $1,000 a month, and they polish it, put it under a cover for 6 months a year, make that payment every month, and when it's over, and they always tell you, I'm going to buy this car at the end. Like, this car is mine forever. They get within 30 days of lease expiration, and they're like, I can't wait to get rid of this thing. Yeah, get it out of here. Yeah, next car.
Send it.
It's like, dude, you should have drove it.
Yep.
The leasing company doesn't care if you turn it in clean or dirty.
Yeah, we've gotten some cars to pass off lease inspection that were more than a little dirty.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Dave Thoman, in response to the 996 GT3s, said, sheesh, my old lapis blue 996 GT3 would command even more. Yes, Dave, it would.
And
yes,
your 997 RS will do even better.
Yeah, a desirable and rare color with only 9 produced for North America. Thank you, GT Vault.
Shout out to Dave. Great guy.
Yes. Yeah. Talk about 996 GT3 regatta. So I sold a 4,000-mile white GT3 in I think it was January of 2021 for $120. Oh. And an Atlas gray over.
That was all the money, though, dude.
It was.
That was all the money.
I'm just saying,
you can't. This prediction's not going to happen.
I know.
Let's talk about another red GT3 that we drove the wheels off of it because it was unable to be sold.
Oh gosh, yeah. AC delete with the Perlon Recaro bucket seats and
Smokies
couldn't
GT.
get $80,000 for that thing.
I think we put 4,000 to 5,000 miles on that car, and I think you just gave it away for.
Yeah,
it was there was no profit in that.
I lost money on that car, but I had probably the most fun losing money of a lot of things.
You earned the depreciation.
Yeah, I earned the depreciation. Yeah. Let's talk about, we have a question. Then we'll talk about Ford GTs. I have a successful auto repair shop in Charlotte. What's logical? Getting into car sales? Nope.
Do you work on NASCAR?
Or expanding the auto repair business? I've been in the car industry since I was 15. I'm turning 30 this year.
Sounds like you said you have a successful business. You should just roll with that, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep doing you.
Yeah. That's a good stick to what you know. It depends on your market. It depends on your customers. You got to determine what they want. You got to determine what you have the staff for. Do you have more mechanics you can hire that you trust, or do you have guys that want to run a car sales business? Like, you got to determine your skill set and your human resources in your local market, and
evolve every year in a certain, whether you're growing your current business or just raise your hourly rate.
That too. Both. Yeah, I have a hard time advising anyone to get into the car business. I don't know why. Maybe I'm cynical, but it's a tough business, and it's not.
It's very populated right now too.
It's very saturated, and it's not the best business in terms of, by the numbers. It's very difficult to predict. There's no passive income. There's no residual. Like, you can't say because I did $1 million this year, I'm going to do $1.1 million next year.
Why do you think Doug's doing a podcast?
Boom. Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. All the friggin' podcasts and TV personalities are getting into the car business, but they're doing the auction thing, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'm doing a podcast so I can say whatever I want.
You say whatever you want anyway.
I don't.
Now you just say whatever you want, and now more people can listen to it and choose to listen to it. But the best part is you can turn it off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My customers can hang up on me too, but I can't always say exactly what I want when I'm talking with customers. And this is freeing because I can just talk crap. So, okay. Ford GTs. See how you interpret this one. So, the Mecum Ford GTs went crazy.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
Crazy. And of course, so we've got a black one here. Everybody blew up our phone. Nobody wanted it on Friday. Everybody wanted it on Monday. More of the herd mentality. But
piece of that pie.
There's a 1,900-mile one on Gooding, black, no stripe. And a 1,900-mile red one sold on Bring a Trailer the Monday after Mecum, and it sold for $478, which is huge money.
Another one sold too, right?
For a red one. It did. A 4,000-mile red one sold last week for $366. $100K less in a week. So is that the stock market too?
It could be. I mean, I don't have a direct answer to that, but I mean, when people are very reactionary,
yep,
and you have a lot of people that made a lot of money quickly, that if they watch their accounts go down, they don't have anything to pull from.
Yeah.
I mean, these cryptocurrency people, I mean, hey, man, good for you guys. You made a bunch of money making a gamble. There's nothing wrong with that. But, easy come, easy go sometimes.
Sure. But I don't think the market's being driven primarily
it's not driven by that. I'm just making an example.
Like, there is a lot of smart cash out there.
Oh, there's a ton of smart cash.
And the smart cash
I'm just making an
knows
example
better.
That how many people, drive around their license plate that say Bitcoin, right?
2?
Well, at least 1 in Ohio, 1 in every state probably, I guess, 50. But, it is what it is. Good for that. I mean, those people probably weren't poor to begin with. But
yeah,
hey, you make a quick $1 million on some cryptocurrency, you can do some pretty dangerous stuff.
Okay, so what do you think of you said this, and there was a lot of people on the comment flow in some of these auctions that said the price drop between the two Ford GTs and the two GT3s that we're comparing week to week was stock market and Bitcoin was down. But then there's a lot of people that say, well, the car values are up because people are afraid the stock market and real estate and all the safe
hard assets,
traditional investments are going down, so they're pouring their money into cars. Right. Because they think those will be better investments.
But what do you say to that? As you said earlier, though, you had one point, and it's always true. The week before the 2 car weeks, or the week of the 2 car weeks, prices do fall. Because everybody they're saving their money to go to the auction, they're saving their money to see what happens. And then if you put your car on Bring a Trailer or eBay, pick your poison, people are kind of holding off to see what something else goes for.
Sure.
I mean, that's a real thing. I mean, I have a lot of customers that go, I'm not buying anything. I want to wait until after Monterey. I'm going to wait till after this. Because that does drive the market a little bit.
Yeah.
Or a lot.
Yeah,
a
it
lot
does.
of it.
Yeah, it does. P-Car Market did an interesting thing, and I mentioned them again because we actually have 2 cars participating in this. They did a virtual Scottsdale. So they're trying to...
Hypety hype?
Yeah, hype it up. I think it was actually a really good idea because Gooding is doing online only for Scottsdale. And from what I've seen, the traditional physical auction houses are lagging somewhat in the online game. I think they moved online on their heels because of COVID, and they couldn't hold physical auctions, and some just said we're not going to do online at all, and other ones tried to make the transition.
Thing to do a physical auction,
and it wasn't. They haven't been getting the same kind of results.
Well,
so it's going to be interesting to see.
For a second.
Okay.
All right. You sell your car on one of the virtual auctions, right? It costs you $100 to list the car. It's $5,000 to sell it.
The man has a point, and it's not even your $5,000; it's on the buyer.
Yeah, it's $100 for me to take a risk.
Right.
And then instead of paying shipping, you're paying the VIG. I mean, again, unless you're pre-negotiating that, it's probably 10%.
Yeah.
You're getting
Gooding, I think, is 12% up to $250.
Right.
So
it's expensive. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
But again, okay, this is a good conversation for me and you. Cars that go on Bring a Trailer or P-Car Market or whatever. I'm not going to advertise for them. Any of those virtual auctions.
None of them are sponsoring this show.
Right. Yeah.
Yet.
How many? Okay, you get calls, right? If they see your name, they might look you up. They're going to call you.
Yes.
They're going to ask you for this, that, or whatever. But if you have a car on your floor, the amount of hoops people make you jump through to sell a car is massive. Like, paint meter, put it on a lift, take a picture of this, take a picture behind a wheel, tire measurements, this, that, everything else, which is great. I mean, obviously, you want to get what you're buying, or you want what you're buying.
Right.
But these virtual auctions, people are just clicking. Like, I know a lot of people that buy cars off virtual auctions that, well, did you call the guy? Well, I don't have his number.
Yeah.
I just, I made a comment to put a picture of the rear wheel because I thought I saw a scrape.
Right.
Like, and... But
I think that's why...
I bought a 911 off Bring a Trailer years ago, and it was claimed all original paint. You remember it? The Cassius Red.
Oh, yeah, the Targa.
The Targa.
Yeah.
And, the guy's like, I'm a Porsche guy. I've been in the Porsche market for 25 years. I'm like, oh, great. Perfect. Well, how are the tires? They're great. How's the paint? All original. Car comes in, probably one panel on the whole car was original. It was probably 3 shades of that pink. The front tires were corded. Was it a good car?
It was amazing.
It was a fine car.
That was a great car.
But was it what I bid on?
But you have more transparency in the new online auctions than the online version of the physical auctions, and certainly more than the physical auctions. There's a lot of shadow games and a lot of things hidden or glossed over or kind of read between the lines in the physical auctions.
Sure. I'm just making a point that I didn't fly out to look at the car because I have 5. You go on Bring a Trailer, you got 5 to 7 days.
Yeah.
From beginning till end.
Yeah.
There's a lot of legwork to do, and a lot of people buy the car and they're not upset.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I bought a car that was a fine car, but it wasn't exactly. It was misrepresented a tick. Did I keep it? Of course I did. But I'm just saying
that car was good enough. We'll put it that way.
It was fine.
But yeah,
it was fine.
Yeah, you're never gonna. Okay. Back to your point though about the cost difference. So, oh gosh, where was it? There's a Carrera GT on RM this week, 5,500 miles. The low estimate is like 1 million, 1.1, which is a pretty incredible deal compared to the 2 that went on BAT in the last couple weeks. Granted, those had sub 1,000 miles, but they both went for 2 million. But the value proposition to sellers and buyers. So if the Carrera GT and RM sells for low estimate, they're taking $200K in commissions
Mm-hmm.
If they sold for $2 million, which is what the ones on BAT went for, they'd be taking $400K in commissions. Again, if somebody didn't pre-negotiate a lower seller's fee. But still, you're talking $400,000 in commissions versus $5K.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the auction game is going to change.
The babbling,
has to.
the guy that does the auction in person, if you probably saw his W-2.
You'd have to pay me a lot to talk like that.
You couldn't talk like that.
I couldn't, but if you paid me that much, I might.
Try. Come on. It's your moment. It's your moment.
No. I play the drums. I don't rap auction speak. It's like gibberish rap.
Hey.
I'm gonna ding dong ding dong.
There you go. There's your moment. And never do it again.
After watching 8 or 9 episodes, I'd say Doug says pretty much whatever he wants. Hey, thank you for watching so many episodes. Please keep watching. I do say whatever I want. Anyway, the auction game is going to change. You remarked to me a couple weeks ago that the physical auctions were hurting for consignments, and they were making deals in order to get cars there because the online auctions had put such a dent in what they're doing. And for good reason. They're offering more transparency at a far better value.
And you don't have to wait for a certain time of the year to do it, too.
You still have to wait 2 months to get on BAT. But
and P-car market's, 5 days?
But, okay, let's talk. I bid on a car on Barrett-Jackson today. I wasn't drinking.
Did you win?
Shut up. No, I didn't. I bid on an X-Bondurant Crown Victoria. The paint was peeling off the top of it. It has Cobra drivetrain made by Roush. Just one of 18, whatever. I bid to $22,000. It sold for $23,000, right?
You quit?
Yes, dude, it's almost $30,000 with the VIG and shipping and all that for a paint peeling sun-baked Crown Vic.
$20,000 doesn't buy you anything in this market.
It's a Crown Vic.
$20,000's the sales tax on stuff that you
It's
sell.
an ex-cop car with a big motor that then got beat to snot on the track and then parked outside in the sun for 20 years.
Sounds perfect. For you.
Fine, for $22,000. Anyway, all I'm saying is I'm like sitting there and the auctioneer is doing his
You didn't drink enough.
friggin' gibberish crap. You're right, I didn't. And it's sitting at 23, and I'm trying to decide if I want to pay 24 or not. And it's like the countdown is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. I'm like, frick.
You sneezed?
At least I get like 2 minutes on the online auctions.
Yeah,
And I think that drives value.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 minutes is an eternity when you're trying to.
I have enough time to go pour a shot, call you, and like get talked into a bad decision.
Yes, I'm good at that.
5 seconds, man. That's like Dwight
You're
Schrute
lucky.
negotiation.
You're lucky I wasn't here because you would have bid yourself up on that car.
I am lucky you weren't here. Or maybe I'm not lucky. Maybe I would have owned it. Anyway, if anyone else, or if anyone knows of a different X-Bondurant Roush Cobra Crown Vic out there for sale for less than $25,000, I'm a buyer.
You lost your chance.
I'm still holding out that Richard Griot will sell me his.
Shameless plug.
What?
That's good. Hey, you have his number. Call him.
I did.
Again. Persistency, my man. Wear him out.
I don't know where I'm going with my notes here. We need to do a commercial. Okay, we're going to commercial.
You need to hire somebody to do the commercials. It's weird when you do
Hired
it.
myself. All right, you want to read it?
Nope.
Save it. Okay, fine.
Not on payroll.
Anyone else want to come up and read a commercial?
Spence,
Spence has a great radio voice.
Spence has a
Mark Spence, can you come read the Celebrity Machines? Read the Celebrity Machines commercial, and I'm going to do the Vanna White.
This one that says Celebrity Machines ad right there.
No, the other one.
Celebrity Machines is a proud sponsor of SwitchCast. Celebrity Machines offers more than 250 different screen-accurate license plates, as they appeared in movies and TV shows like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, The Fast and Furious, Breaking Bad, and so many more. Celebrity Machines also makes our dealer insert plates, as well as our commemorative 2539 plates from the fastest Cannonball Run ever. Visit CelebrityMachines.com for more information and use promo code SwitchCast to save 25.39% at checkout.
I get it.
Yeah. That's the biggest discount
Dude, that was
they
awesome,
offer.
dude.
That was wonderful. Can you just record?
I had
Can you
supportive
record that
parents.
afterwards for the audio podcast so we can just use your voice? I'll pay you $1 with no royalties.
What is that? Chocolate milk?
Yeah. It's from your mom's house.
She always has chocolate milk.
What is your opinion
You're
on
dead to me.
collard greens and Alpina Z8? I don't know if that's the same question. I don't like either because the Alpina is a friggin' automatic. I'll take a regular one with a stick. Sabo?
I'll take an Alpina. You gotta have one boring transmission car in your fleet.
Yeah, that would be like my truck.
I don't care. I'll still take the Alpina.
Nope.
I'm old. Spence tells me that every day.
I don't know where I'm going. I had some questions here somewhere.
What was the
Sabo, you got some notes.
Yeah,
Help me out here.
You want help? All right. I got a couple here. The WTFs of the week.
The WTFs.
I'd say it, but, Doug likes to keep this PG. All right. There's an Acura Integra Type R on Bring a Trailer right now.
Oh, gosh.
2 days left at $111,000.
What?
It's not championship white. And, 111 grand. Okay,
That's worse than a shot
plus-
of Malort.
plus plus the $5,000. So we're at 116 for an Integra. Now I get it. If you have a Honda, again, the guy that's buying this car, checkbook probably bigger than this building. But paying $100
What happens when he
grand for
gets
an Integra
bored of it?
in like 30 minutes?
Oh, gosh.
Like I bought that one years ago. We drove it. It's fun. Cool car. $20,000. Amazing $20,000 enjoyment car. Great front wheel drive. I know, wrong wheel drive. But great front wheel drive platform. Fun car. Had its moment. But man, $100,000 plus.
Does anybody have some ibuprofen? This is seriously giving me a headache. Can you move on from that? That is
All right. Let me make you even a little.
Holy crap.
There's a handful of 912s that are for sale. That, we're talking estimate of $60,000 to $100,000 for a 912. I don't care if it's short wheelbase, long wheelbase. It's still a 912. Does it look like a 911? Yes, but it's not a 911.
I think
The only people that worship 912s are people that own them.
they're still kind of cool in their own right.
I didn't say they weren't cool.
Okay, fine. But $100K for a 912 versus like $20K for a 924, whatever those crazy things are going for, I can at least understand that.
Well,
The
it's got
924 has
Classic 5.
zero redeeming qualities other than the perfect rate
yeah.
distribution.
Dude, 924S. That was a great car.
Fine, for $8,000.
Whatever. I don't name your price, but 924S was there was 924 turbo too. Just telling
those
you.
were not great. Drum brakes.
Drum brakes.
Some of the first year cars did. 4 lug wheels. Anyway,
So did my Honda Civic.
whatever.
4x100.
Let's see. Doug, where's the new website? I need a GT3 and look at our site every few weeks. Well, new website is not going to make GT3s appear.
If it did, that'd be crazy, right?
We have 2 GT3s. We're still working on the website. Sorry, we encountered some delays. And yeah. Hey, Doug, Matt Farah admitted to being your friend on his latest podcast today. Aw, I paid him. With the used car market being so hot, do you want to expand beyond Porsches into all Cannonball cars? I have a Lexus with Heritage for sale. I think I knew who that's from.
Good for you. So good for you.
Sure, I'll pay you less because I know it's Heritage.
Yeah. Isn't every old car Heritage?
Is the fuel cell still in it?
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
There's really no Porsches that are Cannonball cars. But anyway, okay.
That's not
Next,
true. No, hey, man.
No
Even I
winning
know
ones.
that. Okay, no winning ones, but.
A couple 928s that got second place.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, all right. What's your next WTF of the week?
996 market.
Yeah,
All right, you look at 9. Okay, whatever. I know we can go from.
it's been WTF for a while.
It is a straight roller coaster.
Okay.
And you take the turbos out of the mix because whatever, those are pretty special cars. Let's just go C2, C4s.
Okay.
All right. They are ranging from $20,000 to $60,000. And the cars aren't too different. It's just asking prices. The question is who's buying what? What's actually selling what? I mean, you can ask $1 million for absolute roach. Doesn't mean you'll get it. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that actually want these cars. And, there's nothing wrong with them. Great little cars. But where does the value stabilize, I guess?
Right. I think, the 60K cars are probably, rare color, aero kit, blah, blah, blah.
Anniversary car. Or
X73 package. Sure.
I saw an anniversary 04 go for.
Anniversaries are really cool.
Well, they are cool.
Not gonna
Luggage,
lie.
everything. But yeah, $100,000 cool.
No.
There you go.
Okay. But if you have every other collector car, or if you can't afford to collect real collector cars, that's... No, I'm just saying, if you're like, oh, I want to get into like a paint to sample RS 4-liter. Oh, it's $1 million. Okay, I'll collect a, 40 jar or whatever they call it, the anniversary 996.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's why the Ferrari 330 GTCs went up in value when all the other V12 cars went up, because guys couldn't afford to pay $5 million as a cost of entry for a collectible for a classic V12 Ferrari. So they're like, well, what's left? Oh, that big 2+2 turd that people used to swap 350 V8s into. But
They got fast then, though.
What's that?
They got fast.
Yeah.
And reliable.
Oh! All right, speaking of Ferraris, a couple of my picks of the week. There's a Ferrari 550 Maranello RM. I love these cars. I love 550s. And short of racing seats in the Fiorano handling package, this one is about as good as it gets. It's blue Potsy over tan Daytona seats with the colored inserts and the modular wheels, which I know are polarizing, but I love them. And I think 550 is like the only car that Daytona seats should really be called Daytona seats, because that car is a perfect modern, like, interpretation of the Daytona. And the Daytona seats actually look like the seats as they were in the Daytona. Whatever, I'm getting off topic. But, like, the carbon seats in a 599 don't look like Daytona seats. They just have the colored inserts or whatever. So I really like that car. Engine rebuild, good service history. The guy removed the 2B exhaust, though, and put the stock muffler back on, which kind of hurts my car heart. But
If it comes with it, it doesn't matter, though.
True.
They can
I
be
just why would you do that? I don't know. Stock exhausts are boring on everything. But Ferrari, in the description, I had to laugh. So Ferrari is super proud of their records. They are as bad as friggin' cannonballers. They make up a record for every accomplishment they invent so that they can hold a record. So the 550 has 3 records. It went 1 hour at 184 mph, 100 kilometers at 189, and 100 miles at 190, at which point they had to stop and change the timing belt. No. Okay. Anyway, I read this and I kind of laughed, because I'm like, okay, so you went 100 miles, big friggin' whoop. In the late 80s, the Corvette ZR1 went 24 hours, averaging 175 miles an hour. That's 5,000 miles. No, it was 174.88.
I got the poster.
Yeah, 174.88.
That was
I rounded up.
okay. All right.
175. I did my homework. I don't want to look stupid in front of Corvette expert Sabo or the C4 king of northeastern Ohio, Spence. Anyway, so that is 5,000 miles that they did 175 miles an hour, which takes the average Ferrari owner about 10 years to accumulate, with 3 major services in between. The estimate on this 550 is 150 to 200K, which I think is pretty good deal.
I
like
love
the low estimate.
Dude, my next career is going to be making estimates, because you'd be like, okay, I'm going to This car is going to be an estimate of 250 grand to 400 grand. I mean, it's just the spread that they do is just, it's
You know
awesome.
what it tells me, though,
They
right?
don't know.
If the estimate is 150, 200, that tells me the reserve is probably 150. Because why would you set an estimate that's below what they're actually willing to sell it for? And 150 is pretty friggin' reasonable
If you
for
hit,
a nice,
if you hit the low
well-sorted
estimate, it
550.
should sell. So, yeah.
Right,
I mean, if you hit an estimate, it means if not, they shouldn't have took that car. And
right. But that's cluing me in that car probably can be bought for 150, which in my opinion is a good buy for that. There's also, in contrast to that, one of the online auctions, Marked Official, which is, I guess, a new auction. There's a Verde Zeltweg, which is a green metallic with 9,000 miles and a similar spec with the modular wheels in a much rarer color. And that bid is already at 176 grand with a couple days left. So it'll be interesting to see which one pulls more money, the one at a big name auction house like RM or one on a smaller auction house that's fledgling, that's still making their name in the market. So those will be two interesting ones to watch. Back to you, Sabo.
Cars to watch. There's a 2004 Viper for sale. I know Doug's not a fan of these things. But if you really want to break it down, you can have one of these cars for somewhere between 40 and 60 grand. You're going to get a V10, get a convertible, a manual transmission, and Cars and Coffee clout. I mean, I think these cars are some of the I think they're the buy of the market right now. One of them. I mean, it's good driving experience. It's fun. It's cool. It's a great car.
Yeah, I objectively they are a great car. I can't love that body style and the interiors on that generation. Just
I'm better at that than paying 300 grand for a last generation ACR. I mean,
what? Oh, final like the 2015.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's actually a pretty car
It's a
and it has
great- oh,
a
it's a
proper
great car.
interior. Like that car was.
They got Seatbelt seats in it.
But what is an 04 Viper now? 50, 60 grand?
That's what I said, 40 to 60 grand.
Okay.
One just sold recently here it had 20,000 miles on it. It was a very, very nice car, and it sold for $48,000.
There you go. I think you offered me that car.
No, a different one.
Okay. I
Different
couldn't
one.
get over myself. Yeah. Whatever. Those cars just don't do it for me. I like the Gen 1s and Gen 2s.
I like
and the
them
Gen
all.
5s and the Gen 4s. Hate the SRT10.
You do?
I don't like the
Hate,
03.
hate is a really
I'm
strong
sorry, that's right.
word. Hate is a
don't
really
like it.
strong word. All right.
Fine. If you gave me one for free, I'd take it and I'd sell it and buy something else.
Or you'd Safari it and send it somewhere.
No, I wouldn't.
Dang,
What is
we've met.
What is the funnest, cheapest way into racing?
Drag
this
racing.
is a question from one of our
Friday
viewers.
night, test and tune, $10 get you in, run what you brung.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's not road course, and I'm sure that's what he was getting at, but you asked what the cheapest way to do some racing is. You can bracket race for probably $10 to $20 entry fee.
Street racing, honestly, is the cheapest way.
Well, only if,
Until you get caught.
Unless you get caught.
But if
yeah.
you get caught, our guest next week will be able to get you out of it. All right, what else? What else is on your watch list?
we can answer that question a little bit more. I mean, cheap racing is buy yourself a seat, don't buy your own car, and
That's it.
Yeah,
That's really it.
just go to racing school, learn how to actually drive,
That too.
and they will put you in some simulated racing, and you can see if you like it. It's expensive, but the experience is
It's-
priceless. At car control, everything. You think you're a good driver, then you go to one of those things, and you understand you got to learn a lot.
Well, to follow up on that, that is exactly why I want that stupid Bondurant Crown Vic. Because
Yeah.
I thought I was a good driver when I went to their school. And on the fourth day, we're driving around in Formula Fords. This is after we've gone through all the training and think we're even more awesome than when we got there. We're in Formula friggin' Fords, and the instructors are chasing us down in friggin' Ford flotation devices. 300 horsepower Crown
Hey,
Vics,
man.
and they are up our butts.
You could have been that dude for 24 grand. You could have been that guy.
Doesn't mean I could drive like them. I'm making your point of you think you're a good driver.
Mm-hmm.
You're not.
But you could have been that dude for $24,000.
Shut up. No. 24 plus 12% plus 1,500 in shipping plus restoring the friggin' car.
Are you putting a price on your dreams?
Yes. Yes, I am. I wasn't sure.
Your dream is worth $24,000.
Listen, nobody told me that it was guaranteed to be a $50,000 car in 2 years. I couldn't buy it.
It's guaranteed to be still a piece of garbage and whatever too. Snot welds.
Oh, ow. My throat hurts.
Hey man, those Mustangs and those cars were beat to an inch of their life, but man, if they could talk.
That's true. That's true. Oh man, good comment from RX Doug 93. I hope you have a 93 RX-7, but just on the market in general.
Lexus SUV.
Yeah, maybe. This time reminds me of the Ferrari market in the late 80s and muscle cars in the late 2000s. I've owned a car in the 2000s that rode the wave and now own a GT3. I think eventually this will settle to a reasonable level. Buy to enjoy, not for investment purposes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. This can relay into a story for me. Back in the RS 2000 days, I met a gentleman with a Ferrari 360. He hung around with S2000 people because I think he wanted to be the big fish in the pond. But
that's my entire goal of my life is be big fish in a small pond.
But anyway, he preached a ladder system when you buy cars. It's like you buy a car, let's just say something that's gonna, again, I hate to say it, but it's gonna retain some of its value, right? You finance $40,000. You pay that loan off. And then you finance whatever the balance is, then you finance another $40,000. And you upgrade your car moment. And then you wait whatever it is to pay that off, sell the car, finance another $40,000. Before you know it, you're at $100,000+ in car expense. He just kept. That's how he said that's how he bought a car. He couldn't afford a Ferrari, but he bought at the time. He could just buy it outright, but without having a payment of more than $40,000. That's what he did. He worked his way up into a Ferrari 360.
I mean, you can. I agree with the working the way up. But you don't have to finance to do that. Like you're still spending the money.
He wanted a car. Was comfortable with a car payment of $40,000.
Right.
And he would just basically, say he bought an S2000. Say he bought it for $25,000, and I know that's not $40,000, but he paid it off, and it was probably still worth $20,000. But then he could finance up to another $40,000. He'd have $60,000 to spend, and he could keep doing that and keeping the same car payment.
I think a better way to do it is you buy a $25,000 car that's guaranteed to go up to $40,000, and then you buy a $40,000 car that's going to go up to $80,000.
Talk to your customers. Talk to your customers.
That's what everybody thinks they're going to do. That's what everybody tries to do all the time. Okay. Do you have any more on your watch list?
Watch list. Well, there is one. There's a 1989 Trans Am pace car, one of the 1500. It's on Barrett Jackson's lot number 689. It has everything. It's got the pizza box, the jacket, insanely low miles. I mean, the pictures. I have a little history. I know this car, so it is a super, super nice car. Now, can you drive this one? Yeah, you can.
How many miles?
I think it was like 1,400 miles.
Oh.
It's not like stupid low, but it's
better. I mean, that car, the difference between 1,400 and 3,000 miles is really not going to matter.
It doesn't matter.
So,
but I think all Trans Ams, I think that's an iconic, from movies to car shows to cruise-ins, Trans Ams always pull a crowd. I mean, from your 455 Super Duties to your pace car to your Bandit car to what, there's always a cool Trans Am to be had.
Yes.
Firehawks, WS6s. Whatever.
I don't know.
I'm a product of the 80s and 90s, so.
I think I like the 80s ones better than the 90s ones because the airbag wheel and the
big pillow?
The big pillow, the giant Tic Tac. The interior on those just got so bad in the 90s.
The Trans Am steering wheels
Awful.
from the 70s and 80s, though, they were all like Momo prototypo-esque.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just smaller diameter wheels when everything else was the size of a school bus.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, 70s Corvettes had really cool steering wheels too, but yeah.
Yep. All right, you want to get into some of the valuations?
Let's go.
All right. This is going to be fun. Whew. Got a lot of them.
This is where I get to write.
Yeah, we get to write.
So if you're listening, you're in trouble.
Well, we'll call it out, too.
You will. No, Spence will.
Spence, you want to come up and narrate?
He got his calling.
You can crap talk our valuations. No, the mic there.
Well, I thought there was a piece of paper.
No, we're writing here. You can see us. We're going to hold them up so that the viewers and you can see us, and you're going to do running commentary. Mark Spence, ladies and gentlemen, the fastest person across the country in a sub 100 horsepower Citroen in history. Whoa!
Yay! Super yay!
Who would have thought that was a Cannonball record?
Who would have done
Man,
it?
if you had done that 20 years ago, Citroen might have sponsored you guys. Because
20 years ago, they'd still probably come back to the U.S.
yeah. Oh my goodness, our car actually performed well.
It made it.
Made it. Speaking of suspense, how about a 1 of 15 coach-built 84 Subaru GL convertible? How about it? All right, what's our numbers?
Oh,
Write down your
man.
bid.
Ooh.
Write down your bid.
Does it have a grill in it?
How much beer does it come with?
You love that
Three
car
fat
so much.
middle-aged guys.
Yeah. Going again. We went to pick up a grill in that car. We had to put the top down, of course.
Jeff was the size of that car.
Yeah, it didn't go up the hill.
Rare is not always desirable.
I'm gonna say
Write it
Just-
big.
just
You gotta
because-
write it bigger. Look how big I'm writing
fine.
this.
Just because I respect Spence. I really don't.
All right.
That's what Sabo's what I paid for it.
What is it? 2,500 bucks?
$2,500.
I offered him
But I
800.
sold it for $7,500. So
Oh, you sold it?
yeah.
Then why are you asking us what it's worth? You're fired.
Dude, who'd you take advantage on that one? Woo!
One of the dudes who was trying to buy it out from under me.
Oh gosh.
But I showed up to a trailer park and bought it.
Oh gosh. Let's see. All right. 2008 Lexus Ls460, 108,000 miles, stock.
I got
No
this.
kidding. Who modifies an Ls460? Paint and interior is in kind of rough shape. Engine head replacement necessary sooner than later. Dude, is this a Subaru? How does a Lexus with that low mileage need a head replacement and get in that rough shape? Like, what are you doing to this car?
Change the oil, dude. Change the oil.
What the heck? Kinda rough shape. I don't even. It's still worth more than a 1 of 15 GL.
Mm.
All right,
Go ahead. Go him first. Mine's better.
5K.
Show yours.
Who cares?
That's Doug right there.
I don't know. Somebody will do a cannonball in it.
You can buy here, pay here that car, make triple your money.
Oh yeah,
Free
you could.
repos.
2014 Audi RS7, 92,000 miles, Misano red. Trying to sell it. No idea on VIN number, condition, whatever. So I guess we're
How many miles?
92,000 miles.
92,000
Yeah,
miles?
on an RS7. Do you
Twin
replace the
car
turbos yet? No idea. Those details are completely irrelevant. I'm writing down the friggin' A. I might own the car for that number. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Oh gosh, that's close.
Get closer to Mike, Spence. Speaking of close.
Oh gosh, that's close.
All right.
Probably closer to Doug.
You got to narrate these numbers.
Yeah, you
You're not
got to
how-
tell them.
There's
it's a
people
podcast.
listening
Oh, if people
via
listening,
audio
whatever.
later that
Let's see.
can't see what we're
Use
holding
that.
up.
Use that
Doug
voice
said
of yours.
$45,000, and Sabo said $44,000.
So that's Sabo's number. All right. I think we're on the money with that one. Ooh, I like this one. Potentially selling a 996.1, so a 99 to 01 C4 coupe. Lapis blue on Savannah beige. Savannah.
Is it full beige? Because if it is, I'm just out.
Is that worse than graphite gray for you? Of course it's full beige. They never did two-tone. Hardly ever. Okay. Lapis blue, full Savannah beige with 70,000 miles, 6-speed manual, IMS update, etc. Maybe ETC, electronic traction control.
They put that on there.
He said ETC. No, that's my commentary.
Dude.
IMS, AOS, RMS, ETC, I don't know. PMS, PM.
Is this wholesale number or retail number?
Retail-ish. Yes. 70,000 miles, 996.1. All right. Flip it.
See, Doug's got $30,000 and Sabo's got $29,995.
Seriously? Oh, man, we are good. This is awesome. 2011 Nissan Altima V6 SL. All OEM parts, no paintwork. I call BS. Fresh Barums. Is that like pastries or something?
Like
108,000 miles. Refresh CVT. How many police chases has it been in?
Refresh CVT? Why don't you just swap it?
All right.
I don't even want to do this one.
Pick a number.
Hold on. I got.
I like the sound effects of Spence popping a.
What year was it again?
2011 Altima V6 SL. Can they send the valuations in the chat? Yes, they can. I think that is somebody else.
I'm not even doing this one, dude.
I use Sabo's. I use yours. Who cares?
I'm not doing that one.
All right.
This is my world, so that's like $8,500.
Sorry, Kent from Niche Motors. Maybe you need to be a little more niche, and yeah, nobody wants a niche on Altima. Get it?
No,
niche
niche
Motors.
no. Niche mo.
Oh.
Niche mo.
Oh man, double. Is it a niche mo edition? Oh, niche motors. Oh gosh, there's so many. All right, we're gonna leave that one. We're beating that one down. 2006 Mercedes-Benz G550.
2006.
2016
16.
G550.
$1 million.
2 owners. 1 minor accident, i.e. the tire cover got backed into. Probably totaled the other car. 28,000 miles. Blue over Designo tan.
Is this are we in Beverly Hills or Cleveland, Ohio? Because it does make a difference.
Dude.
See, Doug's got 90,000 and Sabo's got 145.
G550, not G63.
Don't care. G63 is like $1 million
Sold.
right now.
Sold. You want Sabo's number right now?
Yeah, call me up.
I'm pretty sure
I'll tell you no to your face.
Pretty sure he'll sell it for 145. 991.1 GT3 RS. So 2016 GT3 RS, ultraviolet, 17,000 miles. Just missing PCCBs. Where'd they go? Can't find them?
Track car.
Okay, slight side note here. They say just missing PCCBs as in like, oh, it has every other single possible option. I swear I've heard that so many times, and everybody says, oh, my car's loaded. It has every single option just because it has leather seats and bows. And the Porsche option list is 18 miles long.
The
and to
only
say it's
guy
just missing
the
PCCBs,
only guy that can have that,
I call BS.
That title is that guy with the GT2 RS. That's like a $700,000 MSRP car.
Right.
He wins. He wins the option race.
Actually, I had somebody on the flip side of that. I had somebody ask me about a GT3 RS or something, and they kept asking me. They're like, "What options doesn't it have?" And I was like, "Dude, you gotta. Do you want me to send you the original build order guide and just like,
dude,
there's so many it doesn't have."
What's the only important option on a GT3?
a garage to put it in.
Boom. That's it. It could have 0 options or all the options in the world, and it drives fantastic. Boom, drive it.
All right. 17,000 miles. We're assuming no options. UV. This is a ballpark. Because, of course. Okay, flip it.
Let's see. Doug's got 200K, and so does Sabo.
Yeah, baby. What do we win?
Brain busters here.
Oh.
What do we win?
Yeah.
A shot of Malort.
Ooh,
Deal.
pass.
Bring
I
it
want
over.
Loser. I want to lose.
1988 Porsche 928 4S. Bought
Yeah, back to that.
Mm.
Good car.
the 88s were though. The later ones were. They were as
Yeah.
powerful as a
944.
944.
That's what I said.
Faster actually.
That's the S.
Okay, fine. But then you went to turbo and whatever. Okay. They're fine. They just don't deserve more than like 10 grand. Bought from original owner, 87,000 miles. Engine reworked, front end painted due to rock chips. My question for the episode is, how do you see the market going for older classics, 80s and 90s, the analog cars that just started getting tech into them? Slow or sudden rise in value within the next 5 to 10 years? I don't.
So a price on that one?
I don't know. No, he wants to know what it's going to be worth in 5 to 10 years.
5.
The question we hate
You
answering.
won't even be able to buy gas in 5 to 10 years.
All right. This is all you say, but let's talk about E36 M3s.
won't be able
LOL.
to
I
buy
don't know why
gas, by
that's
the way.
funny. Those aren't a joke. I have a
is it?
95 Hellrot on black
Ooh.
with the heated manual Vaders, 108,000 miles. Original factory optioned, lightweight wheels, cooling system refreshed, new clutch 5 years ago. Totally clueless on value. I traded a 15-year-old BMW for it and put a couple grand into redoing a bunch of rubber bits. Had the idea of maybe selling. Okay, so 95 E36 Vaders, 110,000 miles, lightweight wheels, good maintenance.
$15-year-old BMW plus $2,000 is what Doug says.
That's what you trade for it.
And Sabo says $20,000. I feel like that's low.
I think it is low. I'd say 25.
I'm not paying more than 20 for it.
Yeah, you will.
Nope.
Wholesale maybe. I think that's 25K plus.
That's fine. Oh, hold on, I can do this. Wait, ready? Boom. 28.
There you go.
Didn't even change it.
What's
There you go. You just made money.
What's your opinion on a 2007 430 Spider with gated 6-speed?
Great car.
As they always say, the top goes down, the price of repairs goes up.
Gated 430?
Manual.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Spider. Yeah, but those awesome car, but they still have expensive top issues.
You're buying a Ferrari, dude. It's expensive, period.
Fine, but people buy 430s because they think they're maintenance free, and they're not. They still have cracking
Everything's
headers, and they
maintenance.
still have
Nothing's maintenance free.
expensive Spider top issues.
All right, make sure it has.
I like 'em
aftermarket
otherwise.
head- Yeah, they're great cars.
Yes.
Yeah, drive them. Yeah, wonderful.
Get the stickies done. Budget $7,500 every 5 years to redo the top.
My only beef with the 430 was, like in a 360, it had like a nice diameter steering wheel, and a 355,
Yes.
it had a garbage diameter steering wheel, but you put a Momo in it. It was beautiful. The 430, you can't change it because there's electronics.
Right, and the steering wheel is pretty goofy. Honestly, personally, I find the 430 styling incredibly goofy. Like I saw a 430 Spider parked next to a Ford GT, and the ride height difference was comical. Like I literally, forever
That's
after
US,
that,
that's U.S. issues.
forever after that, I could only see it as like a Barbie car. I saw a 430 Spider, and I'm like, ooh, Barbie car. But if they're lowered with proper wheels and all that, it gets away from that.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
If you just put the top down, never put it up, you don't got to worry about it breaking.
Just remove it. Then
Yeah.
it's a speedster, and it's lighter. Let's see. Adam Yurkovich, really on the fence with my 2017 M2 with about 10,000 miles and tasteful upgrades. Curious to hear your thoughts on price and your take after driving mine. I like it.
I like M2s a lot.
What would you replace it with, though?
M3.
I don't know. That's one of those, like, it doesn't matter what you can get because... Like,
I mean, what year was it again?
2017 with 10,000 miles?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably upgrade it to a comp. You know, I mean, if you wanted to. I mean,
but he's got comp-style mods on it already.
The motor's different.
Okay, fine.
I mean, the later one had an M motor in it. The early one just had the 335 motor in it. Which, again, sounded great. I like those cars, period. Just, there's not an M2 I don't like.
All right, value. What do you think?
Well, one just sold on Bring a Trailer for a smoking deal, in my opinion. So I'm just going to put that number on here so you can discuss that.
Doug has 55,000, while Sabo has 42.5.
Big difference there.
Well,
one of us is wrong.
One just sold.
Really?
Yeah, it actually had, I think, 10,000 miles on it. White one, manual, and it sold at that number. I was like, whoa,
that
no,
is
that
a deal.
I wish I was watching that auction.
It must have been the stock market.
Yes, it must have been at lunchtime when everybody was getting pizza.
How much do you see 996 turbo manuals go for nowadays? A guy I know sold his Tech Art 2 996 with 38,000 miles for 47 grand. That seems low. That is definitely low. Tech Art tuned. I'm assuming not the body kit. 996 turbo, coupe, manual, 38,000 miles. I mean, that's 65 to 80K is what good ones are pulling.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Those have gotten strong.
Somebody got a smoking deal unless there was something else we didn't know about it. Bad Carfax.
Got that Tech Art front bumper.
Ew.
The traction.
Do work exotics. With values increasing, what are your thoughts on agreed value insurance? Dramatic increase in value of all cars this past year, yet we all know the insurance companies will stick you with the PDK Range 6 over Rev 2018 price. Thoughts?
Nah, you can't. That doesn't happen.
I can.
Well, I mean, don't. If you have an exotic car, buy the prop. Use an insurance company knows how to deal with it. Like,
Well, I think he's
deal with this a
talking
lot.
about. So he's got a Cayman R with good options, good color, manual, whatever. But I think he's talking about maybe the nuanced values within models, right? So they'll
Sure.
just look up a Cayman R. So I'm dealing with this right now. I can't.
Right now, you're going to make out.
No, I understand, but I'm dealing with that exact situation right now where I have an insurance claim on a highly optioned, very special version of a somewhat more common car, and they're literally just pulling NADA for like the bottom denominator and trying to use that as value.
The insurance companies, that's why they have those guys that try to give you if you're smart enough to fight it, you will get what you want. I mean,
Maybe.
I don't know. Use a company that has agreed value. Do your homework. You can adjust it as you want. It just makes your premium fluctuate a little bit. I mean, if you bought a car for 150 grand a year and a half ago and it's worth 300 now, or you think it would take $300,000 to replace it, state the value at 300. All the insurance company can do is say no. I've just seen that they don't care right now. They're just going to gouge you for make the premium go up.
Right.
And they're going to limit your mileage and whatnot.
I think it's a must-have for a specialty car, especially
You got
right
to
now.
insure anything properly. It's a necessary evil.
Yep. Oh, all right. Roman from Cleveland has 4 cars he wants to ask about valuation. All right. We're running a little bit low on time, but Roman, go ahead. What do you got?
Holy, 9:30.
Hey guys, awesome to be on SwitchCast.
Sure.
Big fan of what you do. It's a dream, maybe one day come true to do the same thing, but at least we got a nice little start. I have a E46 M3, carbon Schwartz, cinnamon interior, 61,000 miles, and it is an SMG, unfortunately.
Swap.
So
Yeah.
I was wondering. I know a lot of those kind of check the boxes, except for except for like the SMG option. It has been fully repainted, but other than that, I've gone to great deal to get it up and running. I was wondering, it's actually scheduled to go on Bring a Trailer. I was wondering, what do you guys think?
Well, we don't want to screw up your auction. People might hear it and then take our word too seriously.
We can be bribed.
For the right money, it's a $50,000 car.
I wish.
I don't know. SMG coupe, 61K miles, repainted, low 20s, Sabo?
25, 28 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing's low 20s in E46 world.
Okay. I'm just thinking SMG, but
I might have.
Spence is raising his eyebrows.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So 25K, something like that.
But stop.
BAT, you never know, but could go for 20, could go for 40, depending on the air that day.
Hope you negotiated a decent reserve.
What else you got?
Okay, so that was actually right where I thought also. So the next one is a 1986 Targa.
Ooh.
All right. Mileage?
Black on black, 121,000 miles.
Good service history?
No.
Does it run?
Of course it does, as a Porsche.
Yes.
Does it run well?
Yes, it's been resealed.
Does it need tires, brakes, paint? All of it?
No, probably just tires.
All right. I mean, you got yourself a nice car there. Black.
Yeah.
So you figure every 911 you get. Yeah, I'd probably say a little taller than that, but yeah, that's fair.
I'm thinking maybe wholesale-ish, but I'd hit it at 40.
Yeah, you can
40. Okay.
You'll probably be a little stronger than that, but if there's no service history, people are going to assume it needs 5K at least.
Yeah. And that's tough to value at a distance. So if I'm valuing a high mileage Targa, the Targas are not as valuable as the coupes, and I'm just going to think like, okay, it needs head studs, valve adjustment, reseal, who knows what else. So I'm factoring 5 to 10K in, not knowing a whole lot more about it.
Special wishes paint to sample sports seats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The dash pulling, is the Fuchs need refinished? Is it rusty? Is it, leaky? All those questions make a big difference on value. So let's do one more of your cars. Pick the last one, and then we've got some more to move on to. So pick your favorite of the last two.
Perfect. This is actually my favorite overall, and it's Johnny actually might be able to help me out with this one. I have a 79 911 SC coupe, no sunroof. I have a 3-inch thick binder on the restoration. The color has been changed from, I think it was brown, so now it's black. It's been wide-bodied. It's got Fentic Speedline wheels that were redone to, fit the body perfectly. And I pretty much bought the car in that condition.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
when you say wide body, you're just talking about turbo flares, turbo fenders.
Yeah, like steel turbo flares. Yeah,
front and
I don't
rear?
even think of fender.
Front and rear, or just rear?
Front and rear, yeah.
All right.
And it's got about 87,000 miles. But like I said, engine's been rebuilt, and trans been rebuilt about 1,000 miles ago.
Oh, okay.
That's a really tough one without knowing the quality of the build. Is everything else original, like motor, interior, stuff like that, or has it been 80s out with the wide body?
So it's numbers matching. It is numbers matching. The interior, the seats, the driver passenger seat has been switched out. Everything else is pretty much original. And it was like a brown. I want to convert it to black and camel, but I'm going to keep all the original interior.
All right. I mean, I'd probably say right around 50 grand.
55.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's a tough one, but knowing what we know.
Having a fresh motor gearbox makes a big deal on these cars because people know you can just get
Thank
it.
you guys so much. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
it.
Thanks for
Yeah,
the call,
have a great
Roman. Best
night.
of luck on the auctions. All right. Let's see if we can get through a few more of these here. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. 96 C2 911 cab Tiptronic. Oh, that was a 996. Maybe it is. Frick.
Pick one.
We're going to pick it. It's a 996 C2 911 cab Tiptronic black. Indicates 98,000 miles, but the odometer is broken. 3, 2. This might be the last cheap 996.
Let's see. Doug's got 18K and Sabo has 20K.
Yeah, baby.
I think it's more 12 or whatever.
All right. Bikes Food Cars asked, what is the real 9972 GT2 market these days with so few cars changing hands and insane pricing at dealers asking $499K? It makes assessing near impossible. You are right. There are very few changing hands. We're seeing good ones sell in the mid-2s. Paint to sample, super crazy options, whatever, may pull a big premium. There's actually one going through Gooding with like 400 miles on it. Gooding or RM, I can't remember. But, yeah, they have never pulled the same kind of money as GT3 RSs have, even though they're way lower production. They don't have the same draw.
I mean, you see a lot of those cars with miles on them too, which is nice.
Sure. Yes,
I mean,
you do.
You see 25,000, 35, 40,000 miles. And then you see the, obviously the no-mile cars. But those cars are driven. They do well.
Yep. Let's see. 2019 white Lexus NX300, originally purchased for my girlfriend, but catching her red-handed without going into details of what was left in it. Back seats and trunk might have been used 3 to 4 times. Hold on. What were the back seats and trunk used for? That's not usually a detail that people disclose when they sell the car, especially when you said things were left in it.
Do you need a black light?
Yeah. Is there any stains we should be aware of? Are there any outstanding warrants for this car? That's a hard pass for me. How would you value a 996 turbo modded for the occasional track day? 44,000 miles, coupe, automatic, coolant lines pinned, hybrid turbos, GT2RS intercoolers, protomotive tune, rear-wheel drive, GT3 front and rear brakes, slotted rotors, 996 GT3 bucket seats. I don't know,
45 grand.
Yeah, for a tip. If it
Yeah.
was a stick, a little bit more, but the mods don't help the value, but they don't hurt it. Sounds like it's all mostly Porsche parts.
Find the
well done car.
Find the right buyer that hates his left leg.
Yeah, or can't. Don't hate on people that.
I didn't know I
have
said
knee
hates his
problem.
left leg. I didn't say I'd.
Whatever.
Amen.
2012 Tesla Model S P85, all the options. Do we have to value this in like
Nope.
Bitcoin?
Pass.
Yeah, I've never ever sold a electric car. Hope to never do.
Enjoy your drag racing like the light.
All right, last one. Could I get a quick sight unseen estimate? I have a 1975 Mercedes Unimog MB494 with backhoe attachment and snowblower attachment.
Euro hillbilly truck.
I don't know what it's worth, but I want to hang out with you.
Yeah. I'll bring the Budweiser. Let's go.
No kidding. All right. That is all our valuations, I think. Yes, that is all our valuations for tonight. Thank you for sending them in. Oh, wait, we got one more from the live stream. 1992 Mazda Miata, 6-liter LQ4 V8 6-speed manual, 8.8 IRS from a T-Bird, 430 wheel horsepower. What's it worth? LOL. Why do people always laugh? It's not funny. It's a serious question.
That's a Widowmaker.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I didn't buy the Crown Vic today, so
Yeah.
it's probably worth about the same, 22 grand.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a very subjective value on that car.
Yeah.
Whatever you have in it, half.
I don't know, those LS whatever, the V8 swap Miatas are going for pretty good money.
Yeah.
Everybody wants them.
Well,
So
track day guys love those things because they're fast and maintenance value is very low.
Yes.
Who's the guy that we like up in Wisconsin?
Balustrieri.
Yeah, he loves
Jim and
those
Brian.
things. They love those things.
He had like 2 of them outside
Yeah.
last time I went to see him. All right, cool. So it is. We're gonna do one last commercial.
Go Spence, go.
Mark, and then I need you to hand this
Just
back to
trying to
me,
sit
and we'll
down.
get into our props and
You're
flops for the
still
week.
standing there, dude.
Boxcast.
Boxcast is a live streaming company based in Cleveland, Ohio, and they serve broadcasters and viewers around the world. Their founders launched Boxcast.
Can you talk faster?
The peanut gallery messed me up. Their founders launched Boxcast in 2013 with one purpose: to make people part of the experience. If you're looking to live stream your podcast, church service, car show, sporting event, wedding, or even your own cannonball attempt, Boxcast is an easy way. Flexible live streaming platform for organizations. Boxcast is so easy we're broadcasting this show with a phone. Head over to switchcars.com/boxcast for your free trial.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Now, can I have my cheat
I
sheet
value
back?
Mark's at negative $25 for
You
his,
could not be an auctioneer. You talk too slowly.
Mark.
I'll redo it.
I should have taken a drink every time you said 996. No, you shouldn't have.
Call an ambulance.
Okay. Flop of the week. Sabo, you got to read the script now.
I'm not reading it.
Yes,
dude.
you are.
No, not
Yes,
Mark.
you are. He reads too slowly. Okay. What is it? Gooding? Gooding. Okay. I like Gooding. I've bought a car there. There's a 2008 GT2 on there with 400 miles. It's black, but good Lord, the cheese in the description is unbearable. Sabo, take it away.
No, you're reading that, dude.
No, I
I'm
have
gonna
to
fall
interrupt you.
asleep by the time I finish that.
Spence, somebody, Devin, fine. Stand right in front of the mic and start reading. We're going to read you this wonderful, cheesy friggin' description.
I know. I feel your pain, buddy.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. At the Frankfurt Motor Show in November 2007, Porsche unveiled its latest evolution of the famous 911 GT2, now based on the updated 997 platform. A direct descendant of the acclaimed Porsche GT1 race car, the 997 GT2 was the most powerful and fastest road 911 on the market at the time. Featuring a new titanium exhaust system, twin variable geometry turbochargers, and an expanded intake manifold, it was lighter, tighter, and mightier GT2 than its predecessor. According to the Porsche factory, the GT2's 3.6-liter flat-six engine could produce 530 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 505 pound-feet of torque, and to top that, a top speed of 204 miles per hour with a dizzying 0 to 60 mile per hour speed in 3.6 seconds. And Porsche enthusiasts were itching to test drive the new lightweight twin-turbo 911. A few exterior design upgrades were initiated with minor changes to the lights and front lip, but most noticeably the 997 GT2 received an updated rear wing,
Stop.
All right.
Okay.
It's nice work, though.
No.
It's good work.
I'm not making fun of him. The
No,
description.
absolutely
They
not.
said that from the 996 GT2 to the 997 GT2, there was a few exterior styling upgrades, including minor changes to the front lip and the headlights, but the most noticeable was the rear wing. Are you kidding me? It was a frickin' front to back redesign. Interior, exterior, everything. Total crap. Keep going.
But most noticeably was the 997 GT2 received an updated rear wing, which preserved the classic profile but offered a refreshing new design. It is believed that approximately 200 examples were produced for the U.S. market.
Stop. Okay. Friggin' Gooding has tons of money. They fly out professional photographers to take their pictures. They're charging 10% each side, maybe 12%. And they believe that there's 200 examples. All you had to do was call me. I can tell you there's exactly 203 examples for 2008 in the U.S. There's 242 for 2008 and 2009 for U.S. and Canada, and 223 total GT2s produced for the U.S. So friggin' get your numbers right. Lazy journalism. Keep going.
And this 997 GT2 must be among the finest to be found, as it remains in pristine condition with less than 400 miles. It is also unique, the only 2008 GT2 dressed with a specific and extensive series of options.
Stop. No kidding, it's the only one dressed in a specific and extensive series of options. Like, literally, they all are. They all have their own specific list of options.
Is this
It
car
doesn't
black?
make it unique. What?
Is this car black?
Yes.
I've driven this car.
I know. It doesn't make it unique.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I make
Every
everything
single
unique.
Oh, you driving it makes it unique.
Yes.
And it's not even like the highest option car. It's a 213K window sticker. I found like 40 cars that had higher options lists than this one. There's no special order anything. It's all like standard check the option box stuff. Keep going.
Specially
Doug is
ordered
upset.
by
I
a
am.
world-class collector and Porsche VIP renowned for owning exclusive and distinctive automobiles.
Ooh.
Says every collector in America.
Yeah.
According to
He's
the
renowned
window
because he
sticker,
posted them on Instagram.
according to the window sticker, which accompanies the sale, this
Good.
GT2 was delivered with in black paint with a plethora of options costing more than $20,000. This the interior carbon fiber package includes the switch panel, steering wheel, door entry guards.
Okay, I'm getting bored. Let me have you switch ahead to fun stuff. Because there's a lot of fluff in here. La da 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 da. Oh shoot, we were almost there.
He was. I was like, what are you doing?
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Okay. Oh God, I gotta find where it was. Switch panel, steering wheel, door entry guards, safety belt pillars, and rear center console. There are support systems such as park assist, self-dimming mirrors with rain sensors, a sports chrono package, and electronic logbook were all added
Useless.
at the factory. And a Bose surround sound system was also installed. The Porsche Communication Management Module encompasses navigation and telephone access.
Stop. Okay, no, it
Telephone
doesn't.
Access.
It's a friggin'
My hand's
2008
telephone
pre-Bluetooth, pre-touchscreen system. Like, you might as well have a gerbil in the head unit giving you directions. Like, even the PCM
bad.
system is terrible.
Yeah.
The
generational,
Bluetooth
though.
never works. The phone, I saw, it has that, like, phone attachment thing. Like, it actually has the phone option. The thing is so dated. It has a cord. A friggin' cord. You could, like, take that phone to
The
Radwood.
car wasn't built yesterday. I mean,
I get it, but they're advertising phone and connectivity. It's crap. Like, literally throw that
do
system
you know
out.
how many people want the Mercedes StarTAC?
So they can go to Radwood?
What I gave you an old bag
Right, so
phone,
I
and
could
you were
go to
stoked.
Radwood.
Maybe this
Or
guy
Motor
wants.
Vice, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't make it worth more. Okay, keep going.
The standard pedals were switched out for aluminum, while
good at
custom yellow stitching was applied at every conceivable juncture, including the dashboard. The Porsche
Wait. Including the dashboard? That's like the biggest one.
Including the
If you miss the dashboard, you're an idiot and you don't know how to spec a car.
Bingo.
Okay, go.
The Porsche crest was
Emblazoned.
emblazoned
On the headrests.
headrests and highlighted by the special color seat belts in matching speed yellow.
Hold on. You said special order seatbelts?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not special order. It's a standard option. Anyone could get it. It's not special order. Keep going.
Floor mats received custom coordinated trim, and the wheels were finished in black. Factory books, 2 sets of keys, and toolkit are included. Truly a one-of-a-kind in an exceptional condition, showing less
No!
than 400 miles then.
It's
from
not.
new.
It's not one of a kind. We're talking Corvette rare here. It's one of 242, and it is not special with the options. It's not even the lowest mileage one out there. There's a few out there with lower mileage.
That's because I drove it.
One of a kind would be like a paint to sample one that they only made one of. It's not even. It's the most common color. There's like 85 of them. Okay, that's enough of the fluff. Thank you very much. My goodness,
Thank
if
you,
you're
Devin.
going to.
Thank you for playing.
Yeah, poets must be in short supply, or realtors or something. That, man, that description. Like, just get your stuff right. Don't. It's an awesome car. It's really well spec'd. It has super low mileage. It's super clean, but don't. The fluff just got to me. Okay.
Apparently.
Yes. Prop of the week.
How do you really feel, Doug?
That's how I really feel. Prop of the week goes to MB Market. I sold my anniversary edition SL500 that I didn't really want to sell, and I made them give me a huge reserve, and it almost made it there, and they made up the reserve, so they literally did the deal for free to make the deal happen. So
That was goodbye. Goodbye, whoever got that car.
yeah, that was a good buy. So
car.
I kind of want to like I've been tempted to wire the guy's money back just because I'm going to miss that car. But anyway, great experience with their auction. They're not paying. Well, they are paying for this because they made the deal happen. But yeah. So thanks a bunch to them. That is a cool platform, and I like the the niche market where they're only doing Mercedes and they're sticking to what they really know. Ooh, what?
See? But the backtrack. 10,000 mile 2017 M2 manual, white, sold for $45,650.
There you go.
Boom. Sorry.
Okay. Well, on that note, to borrow a Top Gear phrase, is that copywritten? Sabo, Johnny Sabo,
Hi.
hashtag Johnny Sabo. Thank you for being on once again.
My
Thank
pleasure,
you for
bud. My
letting me wax eloquent / say whatever I want.
Yes.
Thank you for your skilled trash talking. Look up
My trash talk?
Johnny Sabo on Instagram. It's at Johnny Sabo, not hashtag.
Yep. JONNYSABO or
Yep.
bulletproof.com. And if you know how to spell it, you're a cool guy.
Yes, indeed.
Steve McQueen style.
Indeed. Thank you to our sponsors, GT Vault, Boxcast, Switchcars, Celebrity Machines, and Stephen Holm Woodworking, who made us this awesome desk. I'm realizing right now we forgot our question of the week, which was actually a pretty good one. They would have gotten a free t-shirt, courtesy of shopswitchcars.com, but we'll get to them next week.
Let's give it to Spence and Devin for helping us out.
Thank you to our producer. We'll do that. Thank you to our producer and call screener, Ethan Huffnagel. Our bumper music is provided by Emily and Ivory. You can stream the full album on Spotify or SoundCloud. This episode will be available Friday wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m., and we'll look forward to answering your automotive questions to help you on the drive of your life.